Yeah, so I'm about to get up and start the day at 12 hours. But as far as wind goes, these are just a few of the concerns that I had when I was coming out here. So as far as wind goes, right? I was bringing my drone. I got a DJI Drone 3 Mini, right? So the Mini, because it's so small, is more susceptible to being swept up by the wind. So if I'm flying it over water, of course, like I'm going to want to get that nice shot over the water. It's going to be a lot of wind. So I'm wondering, how am I going to fare over the water? Am I going to be good? Listen, the whole time I've flown my drone, I've flown it in Aquila, I've flown it in Camps Bay, I've flown it in CBD, I've flown it in Greenpoint. I've flown my drone so many different places. Never once had the sign come on saying, lower it down, it's too much wind, lower it down, it's too much wind, don't fly so high. I've never got one thing, and I've flown this thing. You'll see all the footage. I got so much footage. But what I have gotten, right, is I've gotten the warning that you're about to lose connection to your RC. Then I've actually lost connection to my RC. And what I was once seeing in color has now turned black and white. So the drone and the remote were no longer even connected to one another. Scariest moment of my life when it first happened. I'm like, yo, I just lost my drone somewhere up here on Chapman's Peak Drive, and I have no idea where this thing is. I'm not gonna be able to get it back. Hopefully the SD card that I have in the controller is saving all of the videos, because there's a SD card that goes exactly inside of the drone, and then there's an SD card that goes inside of the controller. I'm not sure why that is. I'm hoping that it, just in case you lose the drone, you don't lose the footage. I'm hoping that's the case. Sorry, I had to clean the screen. Hoping that's the case, but I haven't had to worry because I haven't lost the drone yet. Fingers crossed we're not gonna lose this drone. But yeah, I've lost it. I've lost service in Aquila where it disconnected, completely disconnected from the RC. I've lost it in Camps Bay where it completely disconnected. I've lost it here in the CBD area where it's completely disconnected from the RC multiple times. I've always gotten it back. So if you do experience that, still pay attention, still try to get it back, but don't panic. Trust me, I'm telling you, it's happened to me 3 or 4 times. Do not panic. You know, keep a cool head, just look at the screen, try to, hold it up, try to regain some connection and something like that. I'm not guaranteeing you that it'll come back, but it came back to me 3 times. Hit return to home as many times. You're gonna hit return to home and it's not gonna come back, of course, because there's no connection. Keep doing it, keep doing it. Don't panic, but just keep going ahead and doing it. And once that connection starts to do what it's doing up there, it'll come back. It came back to me. So like I said, I'm not promising you, but just want to tell you not to panic, all right? These are actually my first couple of times flying the drone while I was out in South Africa. It's the first day and I was there for about another 5 or 6 days, so I didn't want to make any mistakes and potentially lose it and not be able to use it anymore throughout the rest of the trip. So I kind of played it safe, stayed close to shore and stuff like that. But if you continue watching, you'll see I actually started to get a little bit more comfortable, flying a little further, flying a little higher. So as far as legalities goes, I'd say before I went to Cape Town, I just checked and see if drone flying was legal or illegal. But once I realized that it was legal, I didn't go in to check to see where I should fly it, how far I'm able to go with it, how high I'm able to go with it. I didn't check for any restrictions or anything like that. What I did was, and I'm not saying this is foolproof and I probably wouldn't recommend it, I'm just letting you guys know what I did. I hired a tour guide. And I didn't fly my drone until my tour guide and I were out and about. And once we were out, I put it up in front of the tour guide, and I figured if it was against the law, if I was doing something incorrect, that she would correct me. Like I said, probably not the best plan, probably not the most foolproof, but that's just what I did. And I didn't run into any restrictions pretty much the entire time. I didn't run into anybody saying, hey, you can't do this, hey, you can't do that, or you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Maybe one time, but at that point I had already gotten so much footage, it was like, all right, cool, whatever. But I didn't do too much research. I would recommend for everybody to do their research. Look at the legalities in the country, the city, the state that you're in. I did not. I don't recommend, but that's pretty much how I was able to get all my footage. Just hiring tour guides, talking to locals, and seeing if this is a common occurrence. Do people typically fly drones here? And stuff of that nature.